Let's talk a little bit about the business itself, because no one has heard of this business. And I think, I had the same feeling when I talked to Postscript, which I was an investor in as well. And I was like, more people have heard of Postscript, I think, just because they're more like, I don't know, they work for everybody and not just people who need an ERP. But I also was like, you guys have done a terrible job. I thought Postscript had done a terrible job of marketing. And I think generally, I think the same thing for you guys as well. Because, sometimes we'd go, we'd have calls, you, me, and my brother. And I'm like, why are you not doing, you guys are growing, but no one's ever heard of this business. And I'm not sure why that's the case. I feel like that's changed a little bit. You guys may be a little bit more marketing oriented over the past 12 months.
Yeah.
Why were you so heads down for the first decade?
It takes a really, really long time to build out an ERP system.
Yeah.
If we had scaled earlier, like at the time we launched, for example, there were some really good products in the space like Stitch, TradeGecko, and so on, which were point solutions. They did inventory or order management or both. And they all just scaled as just inventory or order management system, and companies would just outgrow them. We wanted to build an ERP system. It took us longer than we expected. So during that period, scaling made no sense because we would not be able to build out a system, and instead all our customers would start to expect us to be the inventory and order management system and not their ERP. We didn't want to scale as anything other than an ERP system. That's why it took us longer. We could have done a better job marketing sooner. Over the last 12 months, I think we have spent some money, and we are also figuring out how best to market the product. And what we like most is our customers talking about our product, which is how we have found all these customers who use Fulfill today.
Okay. And so that makes sense. What took longer to build out the product than you expected? Just the complexity of it or something else? What took so long?
Product is one part of it. I think we are really good at shipping product fast. With an ERP system, it's not just the tool, it's also the process. Now that's consulting, that's advice, that's professional services, that's support that understands the product. Like, a good example is, say a customer is starting to sell on Walmart marketplace. They are shipping from Amazon FBA. If they send an FBA tracking number to Walmart, Walmart's going to just cancel that account. They don't want Amazon to be shipping that. So if a customer is asking us, a merchant asks us, hey, I'm planning to sell on Walmart, and if we see that they're selling they're shipping from FBA, our team should be able to advise them that, hey, make sure you're using blank boxes, and you make sure you're not sending them Amazon tracking numbers, and you force Amazon to ship with UPS or FedEx. If not, you're going to get into trouble. That level of domain knowledge and expertise in the business, it takes time to build.
Fuck, that is a good answer. I forgot what my question was, but that's so interesting. I had no idea. Walmart's going to cancel your account if they get an Amazon FBA.
Yeah, and at this point, I think they don't even accept an Amazon tracking number. They do not want an Amazon driver delivering a Walmart package.
Wow, that is crazy. Okay, so so I got it. Your head's down because you want to build out a product. Now that you feel like the product is more fully baked, and that's why you're okay. And why do you have 2 sales guys? Why are there not 50 sales guys calling up every e-commerce business that has complexity or is doing more than $10 million a year, being like, you guys need to switch to Fulfill. We're going to save your lives.
It's because downstream, the hardest part of the business to scale is implementations. We do all of our implementations, and that's an insanely hard part of the business.
Because NetSuite, you often hire somebody to do an implementation between you and NetSuite.
Yeah, it's usually a third party that does the implementation for you. It's one of the biggest reasons for failure. I used to be in that business before Fulfill. As consultants, all of us co-founders implemented NetSuite and other systems for companies. And we have seen failure. Some of the times that we would be brought in is to recover from that failure and so on. So we've seen how third parties really just fuck up implementations. And that's the number one reason, even when the system is good, the team that's implementing is bad. So with Fulfill, we want all of our implementations to be done in-house.
And how many people are involved in implementation then? If you have 2 sales guys, how many implementation guys do you have? And why don't you just 10x both of those teams?
So 10xing sales is easy.
Yeah.
Very easy to ramp up, very easy to sell, predefined space, easy to find contacts and emails of people and spend marketing dollars. Scaling implementations, really, really hard. even if they come from a supply chain background, even if we hire people who have previously implemented something like NetSuite or another WMS in the space, it's just really, really hard for them to be a domain expert in DTC, understand how a warehouse operates, understand how they interface with 3PLs, understand how an EDI works, how merchants sell on different platforms, the challenges with it, and so on. Those nuances, it's an apprenticeship. It takes months for them to ramp up. And today we have 3 pods for implementation, and each pod includes a consultant and an implementation specialist and an analyst. Scaling that is the hardest problem in the business.
That's the hardest problem in your business, scaling your implementation team?
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to do good implementations, it's hard.
Okay, that is crazy. I could never have imagined, one of my questions is, what are your biggest challenges? Scaling an implementation team. So if there's 3 pods, are there apprentices under each of those pods getting ready to make it into 6 pods, 9 pods?
Yeah, but it takes a really long time. For our implementations, people fly in, go to customer locations. Those are all functions of time. So accelerating that is harder. Like software is easy to scale, but going on site, spending time with customers, launching with them, spending weeks at each of those warehouse locations, all of that is just a pure function of time.